Hello, everybody. Welcome back. What is with the subway system?
Fuck the MTA. I'm sorry. We're starting off right off the bat. Fuck the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Okay, so for our viewers not from New York City, right? New York City has a very expansive subway system. And so I'm coming back from my place of work in Midtown Manhattan, and I'm coming up to record an episode with John. And I get on the 5 train. And
The greatest of all the number trains.
I don't know. The 5 train is cursed. I've ridden the 4 and the 6. And why is it the 5 train? Like, specifically the 5 train is full of the freaking crazies.
There's something weird. I don't know.
why.
Something about maybe it's just the number 5.
I don't know why. But it's like I get on the train, and to my left, there's a person bugging the fuck out, right? Like, I literally, like, you open up, the train doors open, I look to my left, somebody's bugging the fuck out. He has a mace, which I don't even know how, and he is, like, swearing up against himself in the mirror, or in the mirror in the window, right? I look to my right, there's a homeless person just having sushi in their hand, like, just lying down. And then for those who are not from New York City, the subways are not, or the subway cars are not continuous. You have to exit from one car to enter another. And there's a gentleman riding between the cars, screaming on the top of his lungs, like, what the fuck am I doing? Who the fuck do you think you are? And I'm like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Like, I don't know what about
One of
it.
those work days where it's like, oh my God, I wish I never came on to work today.
It's just so crazy because I literally, like, I consider myself a pretty tolerant, air quotes, person in regards to the bullshittery that you can see.
The bullshittery.
The bullshittery.
The bullshittery.
That you can see on the New York City subway. But today, I don't know. I think it was just so many of them in one cart. Like, because generally it's like you have generally like one crazy per cart, right? Like,
mostly,
a nice ratio. But 3 is too much. That's too much. And all at once. And it's just like, why? Like, why the 5 train? Like, I would say you're an expert on the 5 train. Is there anything like, is it the route? Are they coming from Brooklyn? Like, where are they coming from?
Honestly, there's just, I don't know. It has to be the route. It has to be the specific
But
selection.
the 6 and the 4 run the same route. And I don't know. And what's crazy is also
the 5 and the 2 basically run the same route too.
And what's crazy about it is also on top of the crazies, there were the people having their kids sell candies. So I'm like sitting against the door and I'm just looking, and this kid comes up and he's like, just shoving the candy in my face, like, you want to buy? I'm like, bro, leave me alone. like I know you're like 6 and this isn't your fault, but just leave me alone.
Yeah.
I forgot my Bose headphones. So I was a prime target. And I was just like, God fucking damn it. And then when we get into the Bronx, somebody smells like shit because on the train. I was so tempted. I was going to risk getting off the train and going into another cart. But this conductor was like, boom, boom. Like, I'm not pausing at these stops. And from one stop to the next, there's a big pause. And it's just like the train stops. I'm like, God, I'm going to like punch a hole through the window to get some fresh air. It's just, I don't know what it is, but I feel like the subway over the course of like our teenage years has gotten progressively worse. Like, I don't know what it is precisely. I just like, whether it's like, I was going on the subway, because I was one of the only schmucks that had to go into work the day after Thanksgiving. It was empty.
Damn.
Like the train was empty. And I go in and it's like, here's my thing. I don't mind if you're homeless. Like, you're just like by yourself, like you're sleeping in the corner. Like, okay, bro. Like, all right. If you're just minding your own business. But as soon as like people start screaming on the train, it's just like, dude, I don't have the mental capacity right now to deal with this. Like, seek help. And because what happened was that I was on the 5 train. There are 2 5 trains. I was on one of them and I had to get on the other one, right? And so I got off So the 5 train that I was on that had the 3 crazies, right? I got off at 125th to transfer to another 5 train. Tell me how the guy who was screaming in between the two fucking train cars gets off at 125th too and is screaming at the track. And I'm like, is he gonna jump? I was so like, I was about to go to a cop and be like, you guys gotta come get this guy. I think he's gonna jump. And he was just like squaring up against an oncoming train. Like, like, dude, what?
He's just having a bad day.
I don't know. Like,
you don't know what that guy's been through.
You know what? You're right. I don't know. But also I know, like, you can have the worst day or the best day. But if you pick a fight with the train's winning.
Yeah.
The train's winning.
The train's not going to stop.
The train's not going to stop. One of my coworkers, he's from Russia, which is important. And he was telling me in St. Petersburg, the train doesn't stop. Like, if somebody jumps in front of a train in St. Petersburg,
they just keep going.
Yeah. And there's a special group that comes behind the train to clean up. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, so like the train, like they'll have the hit, they'll open the doors, people get into the train, and it just keeps going.
Wow. Okay.
That's literally what it is.
I mean, people in New York joke about all the time, like you see those memes online where it's like you're riding on the train, you're already running late for work. It's like, oh, we're delayed. We had something happen on the track, and everybody's just like, bro, just keep going. I gotta go to work. I'm running late. I'm gonna get fired. Just keep going.
No, there is a guy on YouTube, but like a rebranded TikTok, like on YouTube Short, that was like POV. You're stuck between 86th and 125th, which that's a cursed section. Like for those from New York, not from New York City. 86 on the east side, 86th Street and 125th. That is like prime time people jumping in front of a train. Like it's all residential, whether you're poor and depressed, rich and depressed. Like it's just something about those blocks, like that section of Manhattan is cursed, right? And a guy is like, like you said, ding dong, ding dong, like, ladies and gentlemen, we're delayed because somebody jumped in front of the tracks. And this guy is like, why does this happen only to me? This happens only to me. Run his ass over. He's for the rats. He's for the rats. He's for the rats. Like, get his ass out of here. No, but in Russia, like, they'll be like, yeah, duh. He is for the rats. And they just keep going. Like,
wow, that's crazy.
He was saying, like, that, like, this guy, I'm not going to name his names, but, in my job, he's like, Mother Russia, like, we just keep going. We don't stay, So, yeah. And this is why I know you're a big advocate for it. I'm a huge advocate for the NYC Ferry, not sponsored. And it's just so much better. But
it is a much nicer ride.
I used to take it in the mornings to work, but now I usually take it on my way home. I've gotten lazy in the morning because the ferry leaves my ferry stop between the hour of 7:30 and 8, right? And I don't want to wake up that early. So I get up at like 7:45, 7:50.
Yeah.
Hop on like the 8:25 train and show up to work at like 9:10. Like, I don't care if I'm 10 minutes late. Like, I know my employer's hearing this. You don't know me. I don't know you. Nobody knows my last name. But it's like, if you're before 15, once you're past 15 minutes, you're not. You're late. Like, if you're showing up at 9:05, like, bro, and you're not late. I'm sorry. Like, maybe this is corporate math. Like, you have girl math, boy math. You have corporate America math. Like, if you show up at 9:14, you're on time.
Yeah.
Anything after 15 minutes, you are now officially late. And that's my opinion.
It's one of those psychological effects where you're thinking, as you get to that point, you're thinking about it. Anything above, especially anything above half an hour.
Oh yeah, no, that's like really late.
Yeah,
that's like
just like you get tossed to like the wolves now.
Yeah, I know. I had a class in university. It was called organizational management. And
nice.
It's like the study of if you're a manager with different cultures. Like, if you got, like, for example, you're an American manager, but your workforce is Korean. Like, how do you navigate that, right?
Oh, okay.
It was a really like interesting class.
No, that's interesting.
I show up with a coffee and I show up 5 minutes late. This woman has not even handed out the lesson plans or anything like that. And she goes, throw the coffee out. And I was like, what? She goes, throw the coffee out. Like, you're not stepping in this class until you throw out this coffee. And I was like, it's 9:05 in the morning. Like,
yeah.
And she goes, so when you're a CEO, or if you're a CEO, if somebody shows up in your boardroom 10 minutes late and they show up with a cup of coffee, what are you doing? And I'm telling them, and I said it was like, has the meeting started?
Yeah.
And she's like, yes. And I was like, I would tell them to like sit down. And she's like, no, wrong. You tell them to get out, because nobody is late to a meeting this important. And this is the most important class of your day. And then she would make you write why you were late.
This person sounds like the type that got fired from work for that. Like they got fired from the job that they studied for, and now this is what they ended up doing with their lives, and they never got over it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, she...
Like, be like, how's it working out for you now?
Yeah, she was a good teacher, but it was just like, that always kind of like stuck with me. Like, 5 minutes is not consequential. Because even if you show up to work at 9 o'clock, you're not starting your day at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're making your cup of coffee, then you go back to your desk, and you're not really starting the day until like 9:30, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like after you said hey to like, you know, your immediate office neighbors. This is office culture, by the way. So
well, like you still need the time to set up everything, get like if you're working at a cubicle or something, you need to get your computer started up,
get
all
your
things
bearings,
open. Yeah, you don't actually start at 9.
Yeah. So it's like, that's why I'm like, bro, all right, I show up at 9:10. Like my dad is a big boomer, and he's like, why don't you at the office at 9? I'm like, okay, I show up at 9:10, I start at 9:35. I show up at 9, I start at like 9:25, 9:30. Like that's not a big difference in getting stuff done. But like you said, if I show up at 9:30, I've already started the day if I showed up at 9:10, 9:10. So, you know, that's a big thing.
Some of my my older family members are kind of like that. But here's what they do. Is that, let's say if they ask me to come by the house to help me out with this, right? If they say be there by 9, they already started at 8, and then I'll show up by 9 like you asked me to, and they'll be like, well, it's about time you finally got here, and I'm like, you asked me to be here by now.
That is so asinine. I'm sorry.
And I'm like, so then why'd you start at 8 if you wanted me here by 9? Like half the shit's already done. I'm gonna go home.
I'm gonna go home. See, it's the exact opposite. So, like on my mom's side of the family, you know, we're Puerto Rican, so we'll be like, oh, show up at 9. They won't show up till like 9:30, 9:45. They're like, this shit ain't good. And then like, let's say it's like 9 to 5. At least this is my mom's family. They'll show up at like 9:30, 9:45, and then leave at like 3. That's really what it is. And then they're like, all right, bye, we gotta go home. And you're like, bro, what? I need you. And they're like, bye. Like, oh man. Yeah. But going back to it, final point on New York City Transit, it's garbage. I don't give a shit that the MTA is like, oh, we're broke. Well, stop being a brokey.
Yeah.
That's my Andrew Tate accent. But it's like, you know, they raised it to $2.90.
Yeah, it's $2.90 now.
And you know they're talking about it going over $3 because they're quote unquote broke. And I'm like,
interesting.
What are they spending their money on? Is it like the unions? Is it
also, do you want to know why they don't make as much money? Because every emergency exit door has no alarm on it. So like I was coming back up from Manhattan because I was seeing a friend at a bar, and on my way back up, literally one of the construction guys just held the entire door open for like 50 people, including me, and I just walked right in. And the MTA guy in his little cubicle where he handles all the transactions and stuff didn't do anything. He just sat there on his phone.
Yeah, because
that's why those alarms do not go off ever. They're turned off.
Yeah, for those who are not from New York, scamming the MTA is a citywide sport.
Yeah. Or you could just jump the turnstile.
No, they actually will catch you for that. Like there is a woman who was a former receptionist. She got fired, but that's besides the point. She jumped the turnstile at our station in Midtown, and she got caught by the cops, and they gave her a $150 fine.
Well, if you get caught by the cops, that's the thing. If you don't get caught, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah. But It's just so crazy because the MTA is complaining like, oh, we're broke, we have no money, It's like, you make billions of dollars a year. Billions. You know why they're broke is because they got 5 guys changing a light bulb. That's why they're broke. And they're like, oh, why doesn't anybody have like pride in the MTAs? Because it smells like piss. There's literal garbage.
There's
like,
garbage everywhere.
Straight garbage everywhere. It's muggy. Like when we were in Montreal, right? The subways were very clean. They had artwork all throughout the subway.
It was the cleanest looking subway I've ever seen in my life.
Like that was like, shout out to Montreal. Y'all are doing it right. You know, and the subways were clean. The trains were clean, like physically clean. And it's just like, why, like, is it really that hard to just have trash cans in the platforms? You know, I don't know. You know what the city needs to do? They need to fire every single American who works in the MTA boardroom and hire just like the Japanese who run Tokyo. like whoever runs Tokyo's subway system needs to be triple their salary, have them come to America and then fix New York City's subway. And that's my pitch.
That's the only solution.
That's the only solution.
Nothing
like
else.
if I am ever elected mayor, I'm walking into the MTA, I'm like, who here has an American passport? Everybody, like, you're all out. You're all out. Get out. You're done.
You have until now to get out.
Like, don't even pack your things. We'll send them to your house. Like, just walk out. Leave your address on a sticky note. And by the time I do that, all the people who are going to replacing them are already on their first class flights.
Straight from Japan.
Like,
here to fix
no
this
interview. Like, it's like, wait, you worked on Tokyo or... You know, you worked on Tokyo subway system, or you worked on the Japanese bullet trains. Yes,
you interned on this train.
Yep,
come on
over. You know, that's what I'm doing.
And with that, what I want to do right now, I want to introduce the drinks now. We usually do it halfway through, but I'm going to do it now, and then we'll go from there.
But should we explain to our audience the measures that you put in place?
Oh, for this episode, of course. Yes. Yeah, you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
You know what? I'll do it, and then you jump in.
Okay, go ahead.
So, John has attacked me because I like the drinks, right? And so before we actually start talking about the drinks, I usually like sneak a little sip here and there, you know, do a little like, and then be like, this is good. But sometimes, as in last episode, I finished the drink before we actually started talking about it. And so to mitigate this risk of me finishing the drink before we talk about it, John has placed these very lovely drinks across the room.
Yeah, they're on my side. They're on my side of the room.
And gave me a Waterloo sparkling water, not sponsored by the way.
Not sponsored by Waterloo.
But I do stand by what I said last episode that yes, we just lie and say we are sponsored.
Yeah. If we can get away with it, I would. We can't.
We're our own sponsors.
It is a good sparkling water.
It is a good
I do recommend Waterloo to anybody that wants it.
And you know, side note, do you know what's another really good sparkling water? Have you ever had like the Walgreens Nice sparkling water?
I have not.
It literally tastes like soda, but it's not.
Ooh, okay.
Anyways, these drinks look very good, and I'm excited to try them.
They're on the shelf next to me. I'm going to go get them and bring them over real quick.
Be careful, SpongeBob. Ooh.
Okay. Do a little description.
Okay. I gotta feel like a clown from last time because he said it's a whiskey sour. So it looks very similar, but a darker.
It does look very similar.
I would say like a gold. I'd say like a dark,
like a liquid gold.
Yeah. You know what this looks like? This looks like chicken broth.
Or it looks like
like not to,
or it looks like a cloudy piss.
Damn. You know what? Yeah, this literally looks like, you know, me in this cup for this drug test. No. Smelling it? Okay, I get hints of fruit, top nose. Yeah, and then can I try it?
Yes, you can try a little bit.
Oh, this is strong.
Oh, damn, I didn't put ice in it. Oh,
It's okay.
never mind. Yeah, I'm not putting ice in it.
It's too late. There's vodka in here. Or is there gin?
Keep thinking that.
You know what?
I don't have just vodka. I have other stuff.
Well, vodka is your favorite drink.
Yeah, vodka's my
and
favorite.
Our entire friend group is blackpilling me into drinking more vodka.
I have a lot of vodka, but it's not the only thing I have.
No.
I do have other stuff.
To the audience, you guys don't know, I have such a religious hatred of vodka that...
You're such a hater. I don't know. Is it just the flavor, the taste?
I don't know. It's just like, why does it burn like that? Like whiskey burns. I don't mind the burn. But like, why does it burn like that and then have the audacity to taste like rubbing alcohol?
That means it's... Well, what's the problem? So does whiskey. Whiskey tastes like rubbing alcohol too.
No way. No, it doesn't. That's
Sometimes
crazy.
it does, depending on the percentage.
But, you know...
You ever had like a 45% whiskey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes out like rubbing alcohol.
Like, I think that maybe it's exposure therapy. Maybe I just need to drink a little bit more vodka, a little bit more, then I'll start appreciating it.
What moment did you experience that traumatized you about vodka?
I think it was the first time when I was at university. I was partying with the international students. Sorry, Dad, you're about to hear this story.
You should never have a first-time party with the international students. You got to work your way up to that level.
No. See, what happened was that I had a roommate. His name is Adrian. He's from Puerto Rico. Super cool guy. And he was sort of seeing this girl named Anne. Right? I'm not going to name any last names, but Anne.
Okay.
She was from Taiwan. And Anne was roommates with another one of our friends who's from Puerto Rico and a Polish girl named Veronica.
Ooh.
They were friends with the Norwegians. Right?
Okay.
I don't remember their names, but they were 3 Norwegians. And basically, Anne was a party girl. Still is a party girl. She's super nice, still friends with her. She was clubbing in Taiwan. But when she came to America, she was 20. And she didn't know drinking was 21. So she gets all dressed up to go clubbing her first night. And they're like, where's your ID? And she goes, yeah, here's my ID. And they're like, you're 20, get out. And she's like, I'm 20. And they're like, drinking here is 21. So she had an existential crisis, right? So basically, coming back to the story, we decide to bully Veronica, who's the only one who was 21 at the time, to go buy when I tell you a shit ton of booze, I think we each sent her like $30-$40.
Oh wow!
And this is all in like beers and seltzers and
you can get like a good amount.
So and then she went to the liquor store and where the university was, right? This strip, right? You know where I went to college. This strip. Yeah. There's a liquor store there, and it's right near the church. And she went in there, and she bought some vodka, right? So she's bringing it back. And this was supposed to be like, maybe it was going to be Anne, Adrian, Veronica, Adrian's friend, our friend from Puerto Rico, and then maybe like one other person. And we were going to go to these dorms. She's like, we're going to start taking shots because, she's Polish. And the Norwegians come down and they bring their own shit, like from Norway.
Hell yeah.
And this is where I learned to never try to outdrink Nordic people or Eastern Europeans. Like, just never try that. And they were taking shots after shots after shots. And then I take like 3 shots of vodka. I hated it. And they were basically like, don't be a fucking American bitch. Drink this shit.
Yes.
They were like, oh, this is what, America says they're the best, and they can freaking down some vodka. So I had to represent our people.
Had to represent.
I had to represent the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, you had to come back.
I had to come back. And then I tapped out at like 3 shots, and then she was like, here, chase it with this. And she hands me a White Claw.
No.
So I started drinking White Claws. I got so fucked up that night. Like, I had to purge. I knew I was going to get hungover. I went to the bathroom. I did the good old 2 fingers down the throat.
Yeah.
Pause. I know. And I had to...
You had to force it out. I had to pump the stomach.
And then I woke up with the shittiest hangover.
Nice.
Even to this date, the shittiest hangover. Like, I was in bed. I think I woke up at like 9. I didn't roll out of bed until 3. Like, it was that bad.
Damn, it was that bad?
It was really that bad. Like,
Damn, man.
Like, even Adrian was like drinking just as much as I was, and he was worse because he was still continuously taking those shots of vodka.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Well, those guys have been drinking since God knows how young.
Yeah. Like they just walked, like they just literally showed up for vodka, and they were like, all right, we're going back, because they were playing FIFA like true Europeans.
Hell yeah.
So they just showed up, took like 3, 4, 5 shots of vodka, and then dipped, and then probably continued their own party.
Nice.
And then also,
so that's where the trauma comes from.
That's what, you know what? Now that I'm like thinking about this is probably where the trauma comes from.
Every time you see vodka, every time
like
you hear the
brain,
name, it's like
my brain has this, you know,
PTSD back to your dorm.
Yeah, back to this dorm, back in Anne and, you know, Anne's dorm, just PTSD.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, to contrast that, the reason why I like vodka, because that's one of the first like cocktails I started drinking. Because like I remember my dad is a big like vodka cranberry guy, and then when I started going out to bars, that was like the drink that I would order because that's what I was most used to. And then that just became like my continued, like even like Moscow mules. I always order a Moscow mule everywhere I go.
Really?
Yeah, that's usually my go-to. Is that
okay? Quick question: do you consider a Moscow mule if it's not in a copper cup?
No, it needs the copper cup.
Okay, just you know, because everybody has their own like opinion on that.
That's the iconic look to it. It has to have the copper cup. If it's not, then it's not truly a Moscow mule. You can change up the name. Like when we went to Chinatown, they had a drink called a Shanghai Mule, which is just, it's like a Moscow Mule but with like different fruit as a chaser.
Yeah.
So, but it didn't have a copper cup. It came in a very tall glass. So, but I think a true Moscow Mule needs the copper cup. 100%.
Okay, I felt that. No.
All
okay.
Right.
But continue.
All right. Let's get on to, I want to get into my topic.
Yeah. Let's get into your topic.
So what I wanted to talk about was, so I am on Twitter. I'm just scrolling through it. You know, just going through the fire and flame, whatever's left, scrolling through the trending page. And then something caught my eye earlier today. There's been a bit of a controversy with Sports Illustrated. And the story goes, and this very much surprised me, and I want your opinion on this.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited for this topic.
What surprised me was that Sports Illustrated was caught using AI-generated articles and AI-generated authors. So these people that are, quote-unquote, posting these articles online don't actually exist. This content was not written by a person, and it is not, like, you can tell the difference. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't tell the difference between an AI generation and someone's like actual work being written into an article. But I was scrolling through it because I believe through my research, the first company to find out that Sports Illustrated was doing this was another media company called Futurism, which writes their own articles and everything else like that. They're the ones that found out about it by just kind of just doing their own research onto these authors, and then like certain lines that writing in that really don't make much sense if written by a person that apparently has this like years of experience writing stuff, right? And for a while, this has been going on. This isn't just happening. Like Sports Illustrated, because I Googled it online. Sports Illustrated has been using AI generated content to leverage emerging technologies, according to the Wall Street Journal, since February.
That is very disturbing. And what kind of catches my eye, you telling me this, it's like there's one of three things. Either A, Sports Illustrated is dying and nobody wants to fucking work there. That's why they're doing AI generated, air quotes, authors. Second, they don't want to pay people to be contributors.
Yeah, that was an idea that came into my mind too.
It's like, and then the third is probably a mix of both. That they probably had people leave and they're like, oh, well, we can just, you know, take this AI generated. And this is kind of like a slap in the face to their readership. Because people pay a monthly fee to access Sports Illustrated. Like people get,
like any magazine needs a monthly subscription.
And now it's kind of like paranoia because anything you read online, is it real? You know, not to bring this into the top, but it's true. If it's a major illustration like Sports Illustrated or a major magazine, is obviously using AI to make basic content. How do we not know the Times isn't doing it, or People, or I don't know what's another major magazine, just any magazines, or even news, really. And it's just kind of, I don't like where we're entering the stage of we don't know if something is AI or not. And I feel like Sports Illustrated has to get punished in some way, because they were definitely misleading people.
Yeah.
And also like going so far as to create fake profile pictures for these authors, these quote unquote authors, air quotes, So it's, I don't know. This is like degradation of journalism. It's just, yeah, it's insane.
And so I just quickly, because one of the things that you literally just said was like, maybe they're doing AI generated content because they don't want to pay new journalists to come in to write up articles, right? So I just Googled the salary of an ordinary journalist.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of different estimates, but according to salary.com, the average journalist, I don't know. Oh, no, that's for reporter. Sorry. On Indeed, the average journalist makes around $51,000 to $120,000 a year, depending.
Yeah, that's probably like entry to like and
then like the top
journalists.
journalist position, like public relations managers or technical writers, can make easily $115,000 to $120,000 a year. Yeah, when you're at the top of your game, right? Yeah. So I don't know, and then it just feels like something that is just. I think they just found a way to take advantage of. Like things like ChatGPT, or
they're just cheating.
OpenAI or these other
yeah.
It's not. But even if AI generates, because technically, like if you make AI generate something, technically it is using information from the internet to make something. Like it's gathering information to write up an article, right? So let's say if you're writing up an article about the latest. Score from a football game, and they're like, oh, this team beat this team, like technically, and then you do your research, like, yeah, technically, yes, it did.
Yeah,
like you could write up, I'm just choosing random names here because I don't watch football.
Yeah,
let's say like the Patriots versus the Cowboys or something.
Yeah.
Those are the first two that came to my mind. Like they just had a game. You could ask ChatGPT, like, write me up a news article of the Patriots and Cowboys game that just happened last week. And it could write that up for you. The information could be real, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah. It's so weird because it's like this whole AI craze that's going on. It's just, here's my thing about it. If you use it as a tool, let's say like for argument's sake, let's say you're a political journalist or you're like Sports Illustrated and you're making like kind of an opinionated column, and you decide, okay, let's say I'm going to write this article, but then I want a different opinion in it, right? So that's when you go, all right, hey, ChatGPT, hey, Grok, I think Grok is another one, and, explain to me what the opposing argument to this is. I can see where that is really where AI can come in, but just strictly copy pasting what ChatGPT says and have the audacity to say it's yours. It's just it basically is a slap in the face to its readers saying like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
B,
like you can't do your job. So
yeah.
you have
and
to have
B,
AI do it for you.
We don't want to pay people the bare minimum of what, $53,000? $51,000 of a company that probably makes millions, Yeah. And then C, it's just who knew about this? Like, all the management knew about this. Did the editors know about? Like, the editors had to know.
Management had to have known.
Yeah,
in any situation, management had to have known, especially if it's like going on that long.
Yeah,
if you found if the article was about like one author using AI generated articles,
you can't really blame them.
Then you can say, oh, we just found out, learned about this, then we're handling that problem. Okay, but if multiple AI generated authors, these are not real people, these are AI generated authors with fake biographies and fake pictures, they had to have known about this, or some type of management had to have known this was happening.
Which is crazy. Fake biographies, like that means there was intent to kind of portray these air quotes people real. You know, where like, oh, you know, my name is, you know, Adam Smith, and you know, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, but in reality it's just a stock image person of a guy from Chicago.
Not a real person. And I'm gonna quickly go through the article on futurism, the one that found out about all this. Let's see. It opens up. So here's the article title is Sports Illustrated published articles by fake, AI generated writers. First line underneath is, we asked them about it and they deleted everything. But you can't delete anything off the internet. They'll find it. They'll find it somehow.
If there is one thing you take away from the last 2 episodes, is once it is on the internet, it is there forever.
Yeah. Literally, we talked about the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
It's just that. There's nothing else you can do about that. So the article was written by Maggie Harrison. I'm going to give credit to the actual author.
Do we know? Question mark?
I hope this is a real
question mark. Do we know? Like,
for the sake of argument, I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And let's see. So first thing that is one of the fake authors that they use, the name Drew Ortiz.
Okay.
That was the name that came up. There was nothing in Drew Ortiz's author biography at Sports Illustrated to suggest that he was anything other than human. And then it just gives like a quick discussion about that. Hold on. Then it says, the only problem outside of Sports Illustrated, Drew Ortiz does not seem to exist. He has no social media presence, no publishing history, and even more strangely, his profile photo is for sale on a website that sells AI-generated headshots, where he's described as neutral white young adult male with short brown hair and blue eyes.
So I'm going to Google... What's his name? Drew Ortiz?
Drew Ortiz.
I'm about to Google.
Well, this is not a real person. This is
I know, but like I'm about to Google like what this guy looks like. So who is another one? Drew Ortiz, Sports Illustrated. Images.
It's
is this him?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the exact
yeah,
picture. That's that picture that's shown on the article.
Yeah. This literally looks AI generated. Like, okay, if you are listening to this, what John described as like a white guy with a brown hair, brown beard, and I would say blue eyes, but
kind of a chiseled jawline.
Yeah, chiseled jawline. But what's really, you know, like when they had that look in their eyes, like
the robot look in their eyes.
There's a robot look in their eyes, and it's like there's no wrinkles on the forehead. It's just like very clean, slated. Like this is definitely like AI.
Like on Photoshop when you airbrush skin to make it look like it's perfect.
Yes. This is very much like just AI. And then wait, do you want to read his bio? Because I have his bio.
Let's just read it out anyway. Do you want to do it?
Well, do you have it or?
I have like snippets of it in the article, but I think no, I actually have the whole thing, but like I'll let you read it.
Okay, so Drew Ortiz's bio. First of all, they have his fucking email address, drewsireviews@gmail.com. I may send something to air quotes him. But Drew likes to say that he grew up in the wild, which is partially true. He grew up in a farmhouse surrounded by woods, fields, and a creek. Drew has spent much of his life outdoors and excited to guide you through his never-ending list of the best products to keep you from falling to the perils of nature. Nowadays, there is rarely a weekend goes by where Drew isn't out camping, hiking, or just back on his parents' farm. Product reviewer for all things outdoors, camping, backyard games, hunting, and fishing. Bruh. That means they definitely like AI generated. Yeah. Like basic upstate white guy.
Yeah. And it's like, so if it's the bio of an author, wouldn't you talk more about what you do as an author, not as an outdoors kind of guy?
Yeah, like, you know, Drew Ortiz went to, you know, X university majoring in this, you know, has worked with
their accomplishments. Yeah.
You know, worked with Sports Illustrated for the last 4 years, you know, something like that. Like, what the fuck?
So if we go further down the article, there is also, let's see, according to a person involved with the creation of the content who asked to be kept anonymous to protect them from professional repercussions, they're quoted as saying, "There's a lot. They told us of the fake authors. I was like, what are they? This is ridiculous. This person does not exist." quote unquote, at the bottom of the page, there would be a photo of a person and some fake description of them, like, oh, John lives in Houston, Texas. He loves yard games and hanging out with his dog. Sam. Stuff like that. And it's just crazy. Which isn't really like he's just trying to like pretend like he doesn't know. Whoever this person is just trying to like
cover their own ass.
They kind of cover their own ass, yeah.
Interesting. Do whistleblowers get paid? This is just like an interesting side note.
What was your question?
Like, do whistleblowers get paid? Or some
whistleblowers get paid. Their job is to be a whistleblower. So they get paid for that position in the office.
Really?
Yeah, that's a job.
Like if I, for argument's sake, like let's say were to whistleblow in my company to like the feds or something, they would give me money. They would be like,
well, oftentimes whistleblowers are people within the company itself to keep an eye on other employees. So it would be like, let's say like, if I'm like the boss of a company and I'm hiring you as a whistleblower, you would work an ordinary position at the office, but a part of your job is also being a whistleblower. So then you fill me in on anything that's happening in the office that I'm not aware of.
Oh, I know exactly who's a whistleblower in my office. I know exactly. You describe to me the person.
The exact person.
Oh my, I can't wait to go back to the office.
Yeah, so that's part of the job. So then like they could offer you probably more money, like so like you do your work, you do
basically
like
they
that,
pay you to be a snitch.
But you basically, yeah, that's a job. A whistleblower is a snitch, basically.
Damn.
So and then it's like if they find out that someone's stealing in the office, the way that person gets caught is through the whistleblower, because they're the ones that like pretend to be your friend, and then but if they find out something's wrong, they will talk about you and get you fired. That's part of the job.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it also provides a little bit of security as well, because you're also like the guy that they trust to tell all the information. I'm going through more of the article now. Let's see. According to a second person involved in this is a very long article. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but according to a second person involved in the creation of Sports Illustrated content, who also asked to be kept anonymous.
Shocker.
That's because it's not just the author's headshots that are AI generated. The articles themselves, turned out, are using AI as well.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely AI generated, no matter how much they say that it's not. That's what the source says.
So wait, Sports Illustrated is saying, oh no, these are real articles?
The company's...
Because I guess like Sports Illustrated is saying like, oh, these are real articles, but these people are like, nah, this is AI generated.
Well, they were never questioned on it until now.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, like reporting something to the Wall Street Journal is kind of like a mandatory thing, though.
Yeah,
like when you have to like report your revenue stream and your profits for that year, like you have to do that. But it was never truly questioned until now.
Here's the thing. Maybe this is a hot take. I wouldn't care if something was AI generated as long as it was made known. Like in Japan, you know how they have like these fake AI celebrities?
Yeah.
Like everybody knows it's AI. Everybody knows it's fake. Everybody knows like this person doesn't exist. And they make it known that this person doesn't exist. But, you know, as long as you know that this isn't a real person, then that's fine. Like, so if like, let's say Sports Illustrated were to say, okay, look, we're going to come clean. These, you know, articles are AI generated. This is by ChatGPT, our own internal AI tool, whatever you want to say. I would still be turned off by that, but not as disappointed. You know, if they just said, look, this is AI generated versus this is a real person, you know, that's what I'm saying. But
yeah, I'm getting my information, but at least I know where it's coming from.
Yeah, and also I feel like people would value that more than simply getting caught with your pants down saying like, oh, you know, you use AI to generate your magazine.
But I don't think they ever said if it was or wasn't AI based. They just, well, because obviously because of this article, they didn't say it at all. They were just hoping that nobody would notice it.
Which is like so crazy because that literally means they think that their readership are dumb. Like there's no way that they wouldn't address these accusations because these are powerful. I'm assuming these are accusations. These are very powerful accusations. Like I'm not a journalist by any means whatsoever, but if somebody, I guess in the journalistic world, were to be like you're plagiarizing or you're using AI, like that's a powerful accusation to make against somebody.
The whole job of a journalist is to write up their own opinion or a story piece and show it to the public,
and to have like that integrity of like, this is my
we're
work.
Trusting at your level. You have to have the highest amount of trust because you're the journalist.
Like and
it's all fake.
And if somebody says no, this is fake or this is like that's also putting the accuser on the line, because if it comes out that that they were wrong, then they look like a clown. So if it's
or they get hit with like a defamation suit.
Like it's a big thing. So if somebody's like claiming that this is AI, this is fake, and Sports Illustrated is just kind of like teehee, like nobody's gonna pay attention to this, it's like, no, that's a very big accusation to make. And if you are a subscriber or a reader to Sports Illustrated, this is just kind of showing that they just don't give a shit about you. They're just like, this person's dumb, they're not gonna look at this.
And then, so Sports Illustrated is owned by a company called the Arena Group.
Wait, can I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
What would your opinion be if the Sports Illustrated girls were AI?
Let's be honest for a minute. When you have to Photoshop someone's portrait on the Sports Illustrated cover, aren't you practically AI already?
That is
when you have to airbrush your skin or highlight your eyes or
that is a hot take,
or add streaks to your hair to make you look almost prettier. To make you look like a god,
prettier,
to make you look prettier. Aren't you already a piece of AI?
That's a hot that is a hot take. I would say no. So like in France, I know it's illegal to do that. So when you see French models like from France, like let's say like a French magazine or something, like that is the person that you're seeing.
Yeah, they're not.
But obviously there's makeup on and all that, but it's not like, like you said, no airbrushing or anything.
Their waist isn't made skinnier. That type of thing. Yeah.
It's just like
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
That's a really good point. Like, is it like how much that would be a good
you're a real person, but you have all these filters on you. This isn't really you, because once that person takes off all the makeup, no filters,
look radically different.
Some people are naturally beautiful without any makeup on, or like if you go the all natural type of thing, they do look beautiful, but obviously anything that they do, they add those filters because they know that perfection doesn't actually exist, but that's what people aspire for. That's what people love. They love the idea that they can look like this, and that's what sells. But don't act like you look like this normally. Which actually brings me up to another thing that I remember. It was a Twitch streamer. I forgot who it was, but I saw this clip on a YouTube short. Oh no! I saw it come up as on Twitter. This was a while back. They're a very popular Twitch streamer. I forgot who it was, but their fan base, it was a girl, but her fan base thought that she looked beautiful just the way that she was. And then she did a stream where she was like, I'm going the all natural for my stream this time, so you get to see what I really look like. And she looked incredibly different because she had no makeup on. And then I think she was losing followers. because all of her fans were like, wait, you don't actually look like that? Like, wait, what is this? You lied to us. And I think she was losing followers for that. I forgot who it was.
I don't know. I know like the only like Twitch streamer that I know, well, there's two Twitch streamers that I know that are in hot water, is Kai Cenat and Pokimane, or Pokimane, I think.
Wait, I think it was Pokimane. I think that I think that was her. She did a stream where she had no makeup on. And then like the chat was blowing up like, wait, you actually look like this? You've been lying to us this whole time?
But she's like an attractive
Even
girl.
without makeup on.
Yeah,
she's
she's
a very beautiful person without makeup on.
Yeah.
But like her fan base reacted so heavily to that.
Well, it's just like, maybe it's because they felt like, look, I'm not into the Twitch culture. Like, not that I'm not into it. It's just like I'm not immersed into the Twitch culture. But it's like maybe they felt lied to, or I don't know, or maybe they had this like.
But like I saw the reactions on that.
They were like, "Oh, she's ugly."
They were like, "What?" No, it was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like you've been lying to it, and I was like, "Yo, chill out." Like,
yeah. Well, Pokimane, look, she's very attractive, but like not to derail from this too much. But
yeah. We'll come back to this article real quick.
But you know that she like has caught insulting her subs like multiple times. where she's like, her biggest one was like, oh, you should subscribe. It's only $5 a month. And if you can't afford $5 a month, what that tells me is you're either A, bad with your money, or B, you just enjoy stealing content.
Wow. Okay.
And people were just like, that's so crazy. Like,
okay, I did not know that.
The second one is she recently launched this like cookie stuff, right? Like this like snacks. And she's accused of literally just copy and pasting a Costco brand of like this high protein like cookie and slapping her name and her likeness on it, and then asking for, again, one bag of cookies, like for, I think it's like a 10-pack.
Okay.
So a 10-pack of cookies for one bag, like $10.
So like one bag in that pack is $10.
Yeah. So like, let's say no. Like, so let's say you want to get like 5 bags of cookies that each, so 50 cookies. It's like $50-$60.
Yeah, each bag in that pack is
it's
$10.
like $10-$11 for cookies.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
what was do you know what the other brand cookie thing was, or how expensive that one was?
No, I don't know. But if you want to look at the story, shout out as usual.
Jamari speaks. Shout Jamari speaks.
But it's just like crazy. But
I know that her whole fan base is like simps. I know that.
But
like, they go crazy for her.
But like, what does she? Here's my thing. Like, I heard Twitch got accused of having a double standard because like women on Twitch.
Oh yeah,
literally,
100%. Yeah,
like there was a girl that literally by accident showed her whole ass hoo-ha. Like by accident, by the way. Like it was like a mirror. Like it wasn't, like some people think it was intentional, but like others are like legit. Like, nah, this was by accident because she also had an OnlyFans. So,
great.
Yeah, but she didn't get banned from Twitch, but a guy accidentally stood up and he like streams in his underwear, but like you don't know that until he stood up and accidentally his dick came out.
Oh no!
But this was by accident and he got banned.
Was it I Show Speed? That did happen to him once.
Oh, that could be it. But the guy who like did it, I believe, got banned. I could be wrong, but it was like a huge double standard because people were like, so wait, a girl can dead ass just show her whole ass, pussy on camera.
No, there is,
and then a guy by accident shows his dick. Like,
yeah.
He gets banned. Like, this is insane.
No, there absolutely is. Remember that period where there was like you had Twitch streamers like in like hot tubs and pools.
Yeah, and then their whole ass like swimming.
Yeah, in like bikinis and stuff. Like there absolutely is a double standard. But then like that's where the money and the followers come in for them more than like a guy sitting in a chair playing video games.
Yeah, and,
and OnlyFans has taught us that people will pay the subscriptions for anyone. Absolutely.
No, what was so crazy was I heard that somebody just accused Twitch of just becoming a cam girl site. They were just like these hot tub streams, these like girls that would be like, wearing super, super tight shirts, obviously showing like the silhouette of their breasts. And they would just like accidentally, air quotes, drop a pencil. And it's like, let me shows the cleavage. Yeah. Like all these 13-year-old boys' wet dream, and they're just like $5, $10, like sub.
It's always the weak that pay into that.
Oh
shit.
My gosh! Like it's just so crazy. And then, like, I guess last thing before we go back to AI, was I saw this YouTube short of this Australian like OnlyFans girl that was saying how she had this huge sub since like day fucking one. Like this guy was buying everything she offered, and then she opened up a TikTok, and the guy, the same OnlyFans subscriber, subscribed to her TikTok, and she went on her TikTok and found out, it's somebody from your contacts, and she found out it was her stepdad.
Wow.
She literally found out that the guy that was buying all of her nudes, all like the because OnlyFans, a lot of people don't know this, but OnlyFans is a lot more than nudes. It's like the text messaging, like the connection and
different
with
price
person.
Like services.
Yeah. So you have like,
quote unquote services.
Yeah, you have like a tiered quote unquote service, right?
Yeah.
He was like tier 3. He was like, I'm getting everything. Turned out it was
her stepdad the whole time. Oh my god.
That was crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. But going back to AI, Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama with streamers, but let's get back to the articles. I have a little bit more to share.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but so to continue, after talking to those two sources, they reached out with questions to the publisher, the Arena Group, about the AI generated authors and the articles.
Oh, they're putting them on the spot.
And then all those AI generated authors immediately disappeared from the site without explanation.
Oh, that's guilty.
That's immediately
they
guilty
caught
shit.
him. They caught him with their pants down.
Then initially our questions received no response, but after we published the story, an Arena Group spokesperson provided the following statement that blamed a contractor for the content. And I'm going to go through the statement right now.
Contractor.
The articles in question, I'm just going to do little snippets. This is a very long response. The articles in question were product reviews and licensed content from an external third-party company called Advon Commerce.
Wait, so they're outsourcing their own reporting?
They hired a third-party company to generate these articles for them, generate these authors for them, and then sell it to them. So they didn't even do it themselves. They had a company do it for them.
They knew it was AI, but they just outsourced the AI.
They outsourced it to a company called Advon Commerce, and a number of Advon's e-commerce articles ran on certain Arena websites. We continually monitor our partners, and we're in the midst of a review when these allegations were raised. But you've been using AI since February. That's a long-ass review.
They caught them with their pants down.
It's a long-ass review. And then Advon has assured us that all of these articles and questions were written and edited by humans.
Cap.
According to Advon, their writers, editors, and researchers create and curate content and follow a policy that involves using both counter-plagiarism and counter-AI software on all content.
So there's one of two things. Well, wait. Let you finish first. Sorry.
There's only a little bit left. However, we have learned that Advon had writers use a pen or pseudonym in certain articles to protect author privacy, actions we don't condone. Since February, apparently. And we are removing the content while our internal investigation continues and have since ended the partnership. Well, that's a very long internal investigation, and you only cut them off when you got caught. So
this is what tells me is that they're outsourcing. First of all, how the fuck can you call yourself an illustration or a magazine when you outsource all your reporters? Like, yeah, all reporters are kind of a sense like freelancers, contractors. But like, I was going to a company that would be like me saying, "Oh, I run this newspaper," but actually hiring, another firm to do all the reporting for me, and I just copy paste it and put it on.
And then just rake in the money for it.
That you're not a newspaper. You're a talent manager at that point. That's literally
they were
what
trying
doing.
to pull like a media corporate thing, like when like news companies that like they take like information from journalists, but then they present it on their site, and it gets way more views that way because they're a well-known site. I think they were just copying that same thing.
But I don't know. But
so not only do you not write it, not only do you AI generate your stuff, you also
outsource that AI.
You outsource your talent and don't write anything. You have this company is doing it for you.
Like, goddamn, it's gonna be one of two things. Sports Illustrated is either gonna successfully spin this where they outsource their journalism to another company and didn't know it was AI, so it's gonna make them look dumb, or B, they knowingly outsource their AI software to another third company to produce AI AI work, but like that's just equal. That would be more dumb, because then why would you just use it yourself, the AI? Goddamn.
And to go a little bit further, it sounds like the Arena Group's investigation pretty much just involved asking Advon whether the content was AI generated and taking them at their word when they said it wasn't. That's what it sounds like. Our sources familiar with the creation of the content disagree. The people that they interviewed in the beginning. The statement also never addresses the core allegation of our story that Sports Illustrated published content from non-existent writers with AI-generated headshots. The implication seems to be that Advon invented fake writers, assigned them fake biographies and AI-generated headshots, and then stopped right there, only publishing content written by old-fashioned humans. Maybe that's true, but we highly doubt it.
Yeah, Sports
But,
Illustrated
no,
is
maybe
definitely
maybe that's true, but we doubt it.
Sports Illustrated is definitely trying to go on the corner, trying to spin this where they didn't know shit, and this third party, is the actually at fault. Fuck that. That is no way, because didn't you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of interpreted what you said before the episode started, where you were saying that people caught Sports Illustrated through this by regurgitating the same articles but with different authors, something like that.
Yeah, it was. Let me see.
Yeah, because I'll let you try to find it in the article, but
I brought this up before because it said it, but let me try to find it.
yeah. But for those who may not know, yeah, John was basically just kind of saying, and I could be wrong, my interpretation, but more or less how they got caught, Sports Illustrated, how they initially got caught was they were using the same articles but with different authors, but it was like word for word. And then some sentences like just didn't grammatically make sense or phonetically make sense or whatever. And people are like, this gives AI vibes,
Let's see. Another part of the article says, regardless, the AI content marks a staggering fall from grace for Sports Illustrated, which in past decades won numerous national magazine awards for its sports journalism and published work by literary giants ranging from William Faulkner to John Updike.
Damn, I'm very uncultured. I don't know who those people are.
The names are... I don't know them either, but the names do sound familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking through it right now. Let me see if I can find it. It said it somewhere. I just have to find it.
Like, imagine if what would you do if news agencies got caught using AI? Like, do you think they're using it?
Using AI, like other news...
Like, for example, let's say you had like Anderson Cooper got caught using AI. Like, I feel like this is like the steroid allegation now. Like, this is going to become like, how people go to like...
Now we have to like
test fake
everything.
natties. Like, oh, you're a fake natty. It's going to be like, oh, you use AI. It's going to be interesting. And how do people know? Like, this is going to make me paranoid now. Like, how do I know when I'm reading like a Politico article or... watching the news where I'm like, is this AI? Like, is this just, people just reading? Like, I don't want to make our listeners paranoid. That's not my intention.
I think I found it here.
Okay.
So, making the whole thing, I'm reading it again.
Yeah.
Making the whole thing even more dubious, these AI-generated personas are periodically scrubbed from existence in favor of new ones. Sometime this summer, for example, Ortiz disappeared from the Sports Illustrated site entirely, to which his profile page instead redirected to that of a Sora Tanaka, a completely different person. Again, there's no online record of a writer by that name, but Tanaka's profile picture is for sale on the same AI headshot marketplace as Ortiz, where she's listed as joyful Asian young adult female with long brown hair and brown eyes.
What's with AI and brown hair and brown eyes, or like brown hair?
And there's a small bio here.
Yeah, let's see her bio.
Let me try to read it. Sora has always been a fitness guru and loves to try different foods and drinks. Miss Tanaka is thrilled to bring her fitness and nutritional expertise to the product reviews team and promise to bring you nothing but the best of the best. Let me see if there's more here. Mm-hmm. I have to like zoom in on it.
Yeah. Because that's just so sad. Because what if like people actually liked these authors and then they're kind of like, oh wow, this is just AI,
It says she's fond of varying her workouts and believes everyone should participate in some sort of physical or mental activity at least 3 times per week! ! Ms. Tanaka is thrilled to bring her fitness to... Oh, it says just the other line. Yeah, so this is bullshit. This is also a fake thing here. And then it goes on to say, but Tanaka didn't last either. Eventually, she also disappeared, replaced by yet another profile that carried no headshot at all, which Sports Illustrated deleted along with the other AI-generated content after we reached out to them.
So Sports Illustrated got caught with their pants down. Sports Illustrated goes, no, it's actually this third party that we contracted, and then they used AI, but they told us that, us being Sports Illustrated, they told us that, these are real people. We just took them for their word for it and did no due diligence, background checks on these people.
But for however long they've been doing this for.
Since February.
If it is since February. Well, the Wall Street Journal says that they've been using AI since February.
So that's almost a year.
Almost a full year.
Yeah, as far and look, I don't read Sports Illustrated, so take my opinion
Like
with a heavy,
3/4 of a year.
yeah,
Basically.
heavy grain of salt. They've lost any credibility, or
Yeah.
like the credibility that they have to build back up.
Yeah, the way they got
It's gonna
caught,
be-
the way they
yeah.
got caught for it. Yeah,
Yeah, and this is gonna be a really big, I think, example, because when you look at other big heavyweights in the magazine world, I mean, like news world and just like broader literary world, oh, this is gonna be like a real big example of. And is there like, and I don't know if you know this, but is there like any criminal, way like you like just misleading
I don't
people,
know.
or
I don't
like,
know if it's criminal.
this is like
to do
really
this.
gray area, just kind of.
Well, again, AI is still like relatively new.
Yeah, like
It's still like being
yeah.
explored, and we're still seeing how much of it is legalized, how much of it isn't.
Yeah, like okay, what if what would you think of if, let's say, like an AI article won like some Pulitzer Prize?
Well, that's a bunch of bullshit. An AI wrote it.
But what if it's like very well done? You know what I
It could
mean?
be
Like
the
it's
greatest.
like so
It could be the greatest article ever written, but it wasn't made by
a human.
a human, so it should not be entered at all.
But if somebody just takes it and goes, "Oh, like Pulitzer Prize."
Well, if they win and then they get caught cheating, they should
Yeah.
have that Pulitzer taken away.
Yeah, wow.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like we're just entering a very, because I feel like this is going to be a very weird age, maybe for like the next 10 years, of us getting all of the kinks out in this AI legislation. Because then once, we know what AI is and we can make proper legislation on it, then okay, all of this stuff can kind of like be put under the rug, or, water under the bridge, I should rather say.
Yeah, yeah.
But, this though with Sports Illustrated is kind of crazy. Just kind of just say, oh, it's not our fault, blah, blah, blah. Like, even if, let's say they didn't know, you didn't do due diligence. Like, you didn't like, oh, who are these people that are writing for us? Like, that just,
Yeah, you didn't go
what?
through.
You didn't do any background checks. Like,
because
these
they
people could have
knew.
been
They
mass.
knew.
Yeah. Like, but let's say they didn't even, let's say we're going to take their face for it, right? That these people are fucking idiots. What if these people were like psychos? What if these people wrote pieces, I don't know, like just so crazy.
Was there no company profile?
No
on these
company
people?
profile, no background check, or like who are we
No
putting
home
onto our
address,
paper?
no.
Yeah, like
none of this shit. No bank account information to get paid.
yeah,
Nothing.
like nothing. Nothing.
There's nothing. No, they knew. They had
Yeah.
to have known. For this long, they had to have known.
Yeah.
And I'm going to finish on this little section of the article before we continue.
Yeah.
Going off of the last thing I mentioned, it wasn't just author profiles that the magazine repeatedly replaced. Each time an author was switched out, the post they supposedly penned would be attributed. Wait, did I say this already? I'll just finish repeating myself.
Yeah.
Would be reattributed to the new persona with no editor's note explaining the change in byline. And then none of the articles credited to Ortiz or the other names contained any disclosure about the use of AI or that the writer wasn't real. Though they did eventually gain a disclaimer explaining that the content was created by a third party, which is kind of just a bullshit way of getting around the fact that it was used by AI.
Yeah.
And that the Sports Illustrated editorial staff are not involved in the creation of this content.
So Sports Illustrated just copy pasted and threw it onto their magazine.
Yeah, without a full disclosure of what it really was. They just gave you like some bullshit lines so that you wouldn't question them.
So the silver lining is you can literally just regurgitate any garbage or any shit, and then Sports Illustrated will just post it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that
though AI generated authors and their articles disappeared after we talked about them? Similar operations appear to be alive and well elsewhere in the Arena Group's portfolio. Take The Street, a financial publication co-founded by Jim Cramer in 1996.
Wow, I know The Street.
That was bought by the Arena Group for $16.5 million in 2019. We also found authors at The Street with highly specific biographies, specific areas of expertise, but with profile photos traceable to the AI face headshot website.
Oh, no. And that's a finance.
Yeah.
Like that's like people will take that information and make financial decisions based on that.
Sometimes The Street's efforts to remove fake writers can be sloppy. On its review section's title page, for instance, the site still proudly flaunts the expertise of AI-generated contributors who have since been deleted, linking to writer profiles it describes as ranging from stay-at-home dads to computer and information analysts.
I wonder if it's like one person who, let's say, making all these AI authors and then making money. But this is what's so crazy, because then somebody has to know that this is AI, because at some point it gets down to like banking and everything, unless they have like 5, 6, 7 different bank accounts making fraudulent documents. Like,
and then without going any further, and then it just goes into more detail about how like AI generated stuff on both websites was just kind of a mess to begin with. Like, they call it abysmal content because like they keep making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Like even when an AI generates like an article, like a numbered article, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll come out as 1, 1, 1, 1, like that. So like these little mistakes that like an author would never make.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be dumb enough to make that. So, and then like I'm gonna stop here with the article because there's a lot more to go off of. But mainly, I find this to be well. We're running a little long, so I'm gonna keep it keep my last bit a little bit short. It's just it feels very disrespectful to journalism.
100% agree with you.
Like that you're allowing yourself to. That you're just letting this happen, you know, especially when you're a major company and you're resorting to this level for whatever reason. For whatever reason you thought, whether it's because you got lazy, you didn't want to pay people, you were losing steam for a while, whatever it is, you still let it happen. You still knew about it. You can put your PR stuff as much as you want, but time shows that you knew and that you allowed it to happen, and now you're trying to pull away from it, which you can't do on the internet.
Like literally possible. You and I, that I don't know, do you read Sports Illustrated or like?
I don't read Sports Illustrated.
But like
I just know
you and I don't really read Sports Illustrated, but we just sniff this bullshit. Like, so it's people who actually read Sports Illustrated are definitely gonna have like, fuck Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of them. Well, some obviously there's like some diehards that'll stay true to that. Others are going to be really pissed and they're just going to leave.
Yeah,
like,
and they're rightfully so.
Subscriptions. You're going to lose even more money.
You know, you should have just paid people.
Either pay your people or stay true to what you're doing.
Like,
you know.
Yeah.
So let's finish with the drinks because I haven't told you about the drinks yet, and then we'll call it for the episode.
Okay. So
you're almost finished with yours, but that's okay.
I'm going to take my final shot and then I'm going to make my guess. There's definitely maple syrup in this. It's very like mapley. When I sniff it, it just feels like I'm sniffing maple syrup.
Okay.
And I think it's a bourbon that is the main thing, because you know I know a burn of a whiskey. Yeah, this is like you have maple bourbon in the house, 100%.
I have maple bourbon coffee.
Oh, but no maple bourbon. Is this a bourbon lemonade? No,
I'm shaking my head. No.
I swear to God, this is just another whiskey sour.
It's not a whiskey sour.
I
wouldn't do that to you twice.
You got
That's just rude.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm just getting like I don't know. Maybe it's my sinuses or yeah. This is like just coming off very mapley for some bizarre reason. Like
there may be something maple in there.
Oh, so
maybe.
Did you put maple syrup?
I need a final answer first before I can tell you.
Okay, I'm saying a bourbon with the sour mix that you have. And I'm going with like maple syrup or like maybe a hint of maple syrup or something that you threw in and that you stirred into this.
Okay, so your mind is in the right place. You did get the maple syrup. There is maple syrup in here.
Oh, wow. Okay, because I'm just like...
There's a strong maple syrup smell from it. But it's actually tequila and lemon juice.
Oh, wow.
So what this cocktail is, actually what it is, it's tequila, orange bitters, lemon juice, and maple syrup, a teaspoon of maple syrup.
And what is it called?
It's a recipe I found online. There's a website called Town and Country, and they list a bunch of tequila drinks. Because originally I was thinking, should I do like a margarita? I'm like, no, let me try something new. They have a recipe called Manhattan Goes to Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Now, technically, on the website, the recipe is... it's like some type of infused tequila. Yeah. Like a 3/4 tablespoon of maple syrup and orange bitters. But anyone who has a Manhattan knows how bitter a Manhattan really is. So then I paired it with a lemon juice chaser, so it makes it easier to swallow.
Oh, wow. This was pretty good. Like, yeah.
Because I saw it online and I was like, this actually looks pretty good. I want to try this one.
Wow. And then you guys have it again. I look like a clown. So I actually
your
don't know
head
my
was in the
whiskeys.
right. Your head was in the right
No,
place.
but I said that I know my whiskey and it burns like that. So
No, this is tequila.
I think what I think it was a maple that threw me off. But it goes to show maybe I don't know my whiskeys.
Or maybe I just know how to trick you into thinking it's a whiskey.
Yeah, maybe you do.
My special skills.
Yeah.
And with that, I am going to call it for this episode because we are running. We are we are running a little bit long here, but thank you guys so much for listening again. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify for upcoming content.
Yeah, don't be a bitch. Follow us on our socials.
Absolutely. Don't be a bitch. Anyway, thank you guys so much. See you on the next one.
Peace.